Special CBI Director Rakesh Asthana has moved the Supreme Court. Rakesh Asthana, in fact, has moved the Supreme Court challenging the government's leave order. All right, so you have even the Special CBI Director who also has been asked to go on leave. He too has moved now the Supreme Court challenging the government's leave order. Follow me over to you. We just had this breaking news coming in. Please go ahead.
That's right. What we're learning right now, just a few minutes ago, CBI Special Director Rakesh Asthana has moved the Supreme Court challenging the order by the central government to send him on leave. The petition was filed through his advocate Amit Anand Chaudhary a few minutes back. So that's what we're learning right now. Rakesh Asthana is being represented in the petition filed by CBI Director Alok Verma by former Attorney General Mukul Rohatgi in that case. But his lawyer Amit Anand Chaudhary has filed a petition, a fresh petition on Rakesh Asthana's behalf, challenging the order to send him on leave, which happened on the intervening night of Tuesday and Wednesday. So there are two petitions in the Supreme Court. The one, of course, filed previously by CBI Director Alok Verma will be heard by a three-judge bench, as I said, led by Chief Justice of India Ranjan Gogoi at about 11:30 a.m. this morning. Fali Nariman will speak on behalf of Alok Verma. On behalf of Rakesh Asthana, it's Mukul Rohatgi. On behalf of the Centre, it's Attorney General K.K. Venugopal, and Solicitor General Tushar Mehta will be arguing on behalf of the Central Vigilance Commission.
All right. Shaina NC from the BJP is also joining us. Shaina, good morning. This is an unprecedented crisis, an extraordinary situation that the nation is witnessing. You have the number one and number two of the CBI fighting it out in the Supreme Court, the Congress holding a protest, and the Congress also holding the BJP solely responsible for the mess of affairs within the premier investigating agency.
How is the BJP responsible? Please tell me, when you have two investigative officers, one a special director and one the director of the CBI, both alleging and counter-alleging, obviously, if one has to keep the integrity and the honesty and the transparency of the investigative bureau as an independent agency, the government has done what it should have. Arun Jaitley ji very clearly in the press conference said that if we want to keep the integrity of the CBI, we have to accept that what the CVC has said, independent investigation to find out what actually did transpire, and the government is not interested in interfering. If we were interested in interfering, as the Congress party is alleging, we would have protected or insulated one versus another. We have done nothing of the sort. The Honorable Supreme Court is in a position to find what it deems best. The CVC's recommendation, which came to the government saying that both should be relieved of their posts so that there is a free investigation, is the only directive which has been given by the government of the day. And I think
Absolutely.
Mr. Jaitley and our Prime Minister,
while the government has made it amply clear, while Mr. Arun Jaitley has rightly made it amply clear that this was all done to, maintain the integrity of the institution. The charge against the BJP is that they have been continuously interfering into the affairs of the CBI. This is all a result of that, and deliberately things were allowed to escalate when there was already a long-running feud between the top bosses, between Rakesh Asthana and Alok Verma. So that's the Congress's charge. That's what they are saying, that all of this that has been done is in complete violation of the law, that the Lokpal Act that governs the appointment of the CBI director was blatantly ignored.
The Congress party is only interested in juicy stories that they're trying to sell to the media, and my appeal to the media is please have the collective consciousness to investigate and find out what is real and what is not. They're suggesting that, oh, Mr. Verma had a huge finding on the Rafale deal. What finding? There has been no wrongdoing, there has been no corruption, and there has been nothing that we need to hide from the public, least of all to a country where we have come in on the plank that we are a non-corrupt government. If the Congress is so devoid of issues, let them go back in time and realize what their own leader Mallikarjun Kharge said, what they themselves did when Mr. Verma was appointed. I don't want to go into a political one-upmanship and a slugfest. I only want to say that the integrity of the CBI has to be maintained, and that can only happen through a free and fair investigation, and that's exactly what our government has said. Mr. Arun Jaitley's statement in the press conference says it all for
Absolutely.
the BJP.
Sanjay, let me ask you this question. I mean, who would have then sorted out this affair? What would the Congress had done if the Congress was at the helm of affairs? I mean, somebody had to step in and sort out this mess that had been existing for the longest time. I mean, it's an unprecedented crisis. It's never before that you have the Delhi police sealing the CBI office or surrounding the CBI office, and now you have the top bosses of the CBI fighting this out in the Supreme Court.
Avantika, you know, there is a saying that whenever you have a problem, find out the source of the problem to investigate as to why it happened to begin with. Now, let me give my good friend Shaina NC what is the real juicy story in this CBI versus CBI war and why Narendra Modi, India's Prime Minister, is responsible. Number one, you have a situation where the CBI Director Alok Verma puts it on record that Rakesh Asthana is not fit to be a director in the CBI. He is overridden by the executive. He is overridden by the Prime Minister. The question that Shaina NC will have to answer is why is it when there is a written complaint against Rakesh Asthana, when there are already charges against him, when he's already accused in a bribery and an extortion racket case, why did Narendra Modi yet go ahead with the appointment? Point number one. Point number two, why did the government lie to the Supreme Court of India? The government told the Supreme Court of India that Mr. Alok Verma actually approved of Mr. Asthana's appointment. That is such a brazen misrepresentation of the truth. When if you read Mr. Alok Verma's petition to the Supreme Court,
no, but
he says,
to be
I
fair,
never said
even
that.
the CVC had looked into that. The CVC commissioner then,
has lied to the Supreme Court.
KV Chaudhary had said that it was a unanimous decision. In fact, even the Asthana's elevation was not really contested or quashed by the Supreme Court. So that matter was taken up even in the Supreme Court through a petition, and the Supreme Court did not quash the elevation of Rakesh Asthana.
Well, you know, Avantika, this is a critical point. The government spoke, this was an oral submission made in the Supreme Court by K.K. Venugopal, the Attorney General, where he said that Mr. Verma endorsed the appointment of Mr. Rakesh Asthana. Now, I think the viewers watching this program must hear this critical component. This is absolutely what I call is this mendacity at the worst level. This is a blatant lie. This is an absurd interpretation of what Mr. Alok Verma really said. Mr. Alok Verma, in his petition to the Supreme Court, which will be discussed today, says that was never said by me. So when the government of Narendra Modi is twisting facts to the Supreme Court, I mean, how exactly vulgar can you get in terms of your political manipulation of what is meant to be sacrosanct and independent government institutions? I don't think Shaina NC can answer these questions. This will have to be answered in the Supreme Court by lawyers. But for her to indulge in this hyperbole that, you know, we are anti-corruption,
Shaina, would you like to respond to that very quickly?
I think you are insulting the people of India by making such crappy rubbish.
Shaina?
Well, so it's not for Mr. Sanjay Jha or for the Congress party to pronounce somebody guilty or innocent either. It is for the court of law. And if we believe that there is a system in place, the first thing that the party and our government is trying to endeavor towards is integrity and independence of a free and fair agency.
All right.
We have not intervened. We have not interfered. On every debate, the Congress says, what was the need at 2 o'clock to, ensure that two people are not given their positions and are deprived of their position. This is not about depriving anyone of a position. This is about ensuring that there is a free and fair investigation and the integrity of the CBI is intact. So for those who want to play their own political games, they know why they're doing it best.
All right, we're going to leave it at that. We're just slipping into a short break. I'm going to go to my other two guests as well after the short commercial break. But along with Mr. Alok Verma, even Rakesh Asthana, the special director, who is also on forced leave, has challenged the decision to send him out on forced leave. That too is going to be debated in the Supreme Court. That's going to be argued, in fact, in the Supreme Court. A short commercial break. Stay tuned. We'll be back on the story in just a bit.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you would love to.